What's up guys, Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur, and in this quick video tutorial we are going to be walking through how to outsource your content. As a fellow entrepreneur and content creator here on YouTube, I can tell you from firsthand experience, creating content takes a really long time, especially creating good content. It's really easy to run over to Fiverr and find someone to write a really crummy 500-word blog post, but we all know that that just doesn't work anymore. We have to put a lot of time and effort into making great content that actually connects with our audience and customers and actually adds value to people's lives. So I want to share a simple system for breaking up your content production. We're going to be talking about content in the terms of blog posts and videos. And then I'm also going to walk you through the simple step how you can easily begin to outsource little by little as opposed to, just trying to outsource all at once, because that is going to be a recipe for disaster. And when you're done watching this video, make sure to check out the links in the description where I've talked about how to outsource and hire on Fiverr and Upwork, so that will get you covered on all the details of actually the hiring process. So here we're going to focus on how to outsource that content, and we'll start with the 4 phases of content creation. So this is a simple system I've created to kind of parse out and block out the different parts of content creation. So first you have research, then you have writing, then you have production, and then you have promotion. Now, I'm including promotion here because without promoting your content, there's really no point in creating the content. So we're not going to focus on promotion in this video. We'll talk about the first 3 because that's generally the traditional content creation, but it's really important to never ignore how important promotion is. In fact, some marketers spend 80 to 90% of their resources and time on that promotion part and just 10 on the content part. I'm not really in that camp, but that just illustrates how important promotion is. Now, the first step in the process is research, and this essentially covers what are you going to talk about? What is the piece of content going to be? So if you're making YouTube videos, this is going to be tag research, right? Figuring out what your tags should be, what keywords to go after if you're doing a blog post. This even includes topic research generally, just figuring out what kinds of topics should I cover on my blog or my channel. Then next you have writing, and this is where you actually get into the creation of the content. So for a YouTube video, this is writing the video outline. For a blog post, this is actually writing the rough draft of the blog post. And the reason we separate the research and the writing, for number 1, it's easier to begin to outsource different parts of this process, and then number 2, it uses different parts of the brain, so someone who's really good with research may not be the best person to do the writing. And then we have the production phase, which is everything involved in taking that rough draft, that rough transcript, turning it into a nice looking YouTube video or a beautifully written, graphic intense blog post. And now that we know the different phases of the content creation, it's really easy to pick and choose which parts of the process we don't want to do anymore. Now, with the exception of recording a video, you can pretty much outsource everything else. The only exception here is the video, because it's going to be a little weird if you're making videos on, your channel or for your blog and it's not your voice or it's not you on camera. So now we're going to walk through each one of those 3 steps, and we'll have a basic, intermediate, and advanced, so you can kind of see how you can gradually ease yourself into outsourcing more and more of this content creation process. So first, in the research block, at the most basic level, you can just have someone look up keywords for you. Whether you're doing blog posts or YouTube videos, you can have a person over on Fiverr for $5 to $20 look up keywords for you. Then on an intermediate level, you can find someone to actually come up with blog post topics or come up with titles. This is intermediate because it's going to take a little bit of work to figure out who actually does a good job. When you have someone, keyword research is relatively basic and it's kind of hard to screw up at this point. But when it comes to topics and titles and blog post subjects, that's a little more advanced. And then finally, the most advanced is going to a place like Freelancer or Upwork and hiring a full-blown content marketing professional who's going to do all of that and then look at your content calendar as a whole and really dive into what is the content that we should be making. And so it's a much more hands-on process, which is why I don't recommend starting off with it. Next, we have writing. And so at the most basic level, writing is something you're probably going to be doing all the way up until the end, because it really is one of those most expensive things to outsource. So at the basic level, remember, promotion is part of this process. So what you can do is have someone go through either your video outline or your blog post rough draft, and they can pull pieces out to make Instagram quotes or have quotes for Twitter or little blurbs for Facebook when you promote your content. The next phase is the content outline method, and this is a phase that I'm personally at, which is working really well, where essentially you outline your content and you write a couple hundred words on what you want in the blog post or what you want in the video, and then you hand it off to someone that you've hired on Upwork, Guru or Freelancer, and they go ahead and fill out the rest of it. So it's kind of like you make the skeleton, you tell them the direction you want the piece to go, and then they fill in all of the meat of the piece of content. Finally, the most advanced and expensive in this step is, of course, just hiring someone to write the entire thing. And in production, which is where I recommend that you start, we have at the most basic level, finding someone to post the content for you. I think this is the perfect place to start. If you've never outsourced before, this is the place to start because it's going to allow you to ease into the process of outsourcing and find and hire a really good VA, which should be your first hire. I'll have a link in the description to a video that talks about how to find and hire a VA and why it's so important to get started with a VA as your first hire as an entrepreneur. And so essentially this position, all they would be doing is taking your videos or taking your blog posts, they're uploading them to YouTube, they're uploading them to WordPress, and then they're sharing it across your social media channels. If you want to get a little more advanced with this step, I would recommend finding a good graphic designer to make you some slides for your content or make you some infographic style images for your content. It's a really great way to take a plain old video or plain old blog post and really just kind of take it up to the next level with some good imagery, custom graphics and imagery. And then finally, we have editors. So if you're doing video, this will be finding someone to actually edit your video. So all you have to do is record, and then you give them the files and the content outline. You say, okay, make this look nice and pretty. If you're doing a blog post, this will be someone who goes and proofreads. And if you want to get really advanced, you'll find someone with magazine writing experience. And what I recommend doing is you can find loads of these people over on Fiverr and Upwork, is where they will not only proofread your content, but they'll also improve the readability, because it's really easy for you to use big words or talk about things that make sense in your head. So it's just good to have not only a proofreader, but someone who's going to go through and actually improve the readability of your content so it's easier for your audience to read. And that is it. That is how you outsource your content production. Be sure to check out the links in the description to videos on how to use Fiverr, how to use Upwork, and I even have some job templates in there as well. So go ahead and check out that video if you want to jump straight into Upwork, but I definitely recommend starting with Fiverr and starting small at the basic level, and then you can always come back to this video and try the intermediate and advanced levels of outsourcing your content. So if you got some value out of this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe over on my channel. I'm documenting the entire process of putting together an online business from scratch, and of course how to create awesome content that brings the right kinds of customers to you. So if you are a fellow entrepreneur who's working on building their business, I encourage you to subscribe, hit that like button, and until the next video, keep building the business you love. Take care.